This video is about facing our own insecurities, all right? The dark feminine energies, okay? So, as always, welcome to Ignite Your Soul, Merging Two Worlds. That's what I do here. That's my favorite thing to do. It's my happy place, my love for life, my joy. Anyways, just want to put that out there. So, welcome. So yeah, facing our own insecurities, the dark feminine. So as you know, on my YouTube channel, there's no gender base because we all hold both energies of the feminine and the masculine energy, perspective and perceptions, right? It is an actual energy of the divine source of the highest light and love, right? So here's the thing. Along my journey, I too had to face my own insecurities, and this was in it was hidden. uh it was in the dark, in the darker parts of my experience in relationships, with work, with friendships and whatnot and so on. I get with my parents, whatever. Okay. Maybe you can resonate. Um, by no means was it an easy journey for me. It's been several years, and honestly, it's the final, the biggest part of the picture of my life story. Really opened up in the last couple of days. This over the weekend. Okay. And I've been doing this, and I've been kind of coming from, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm going to be completely graceful. I'm coming with a place free of ego, and I am going to take you into the darker parts of my journey. All right. Because it has not been all love and light. Okay. Behind the scenes, it has not been all love and light. And it was showing up outside of me as a mirror to show me how I was feeling truly inside myself, whether it was a feminine perspective or a masculine perspective. It was all about a distorted view of the world in general, which I pretty much had that. Okay. I love everyone. However, I continue, even as I raise my vibration to the highest frequency of unconditional love, I was still allowing others to, well, somebody can't betray you. I don't want to use that word, but I was allowing others to use me as a punching bag, or take that higher aspect of myself that I was trying to give and share for granted, and it literally depleted me. It depleted me until I wanted to give up, and I was like, no. I'm not going to give up. I've come too far, too long to fucking give up. All right? Yeah, I'm keeping it real. So, as I am raising my vibration, right, there was a lot to learn in the layers of forgiveness. And I'm talking about forgiving the ones that say they love me. Okay. Or even being able to forgive myself for putting myself out there with no discernment for the longest time. Okay. So this is stuff that's built up. How do I say it? my entire life. Okay. Since I was a child, I remember feeling things and not knowing why I was feeling them. But there was a knowing that it didn't feel proper. Like, say, my parents' marriage or just relationships with adults around me in general, whether they were married or wanting to be married, just so much imbalance. Okay. So I had to go through that stage as well as you, collective. Um, the layers and layers of seeking to know who I was and what was my part in this, what was my story, right? Well, I'm empathic, which I did not know when I was growing up as a child, but I was very, very aware and awakened at a young age, which your children are too, by the way. Um, without having to understand completely what was going on around me. And I'm going to say 8 years old, I started to feel things. And for some reason, my subconscious mind only would pick up like trauma, right? Toxic relationships or toxic situations. And that was that was meant for me. Okay. So I could change it in my own life. However, I've lost a few along the way, as far as relationships. And I don't really look at it as a loss. I look at it as I gained something from each one of them. And it's a value now. It's part of me. It's part of you if you resonate to this message. So whether it was your parents or your whoever outside of you that raised you in dysfunctional, I want to call it dysfunctional, okay, family unit. Um, it was no accident, no happenstance, or whatever. Okay, it was not. It was put there for us to be able to know the difference between the light and the dark. Okay, and we are all light, and we are all dark. We can't have the light without the darkness. So our first part of reality and coming in with the veil over our eyes, and this is for everyone, all right, was to not know, to not understand, to not really even give a fuck, right? Obviously, because we were told to just live and die, and however we lived, and it's not that people didn't know there would be consequences to the toxicity, right? I'm just going to say it like that. And we still did it. But yet we believe there is something higher and greater and bigger than us that has our back, that loves us, right? And not saying your parents didn't love you. There's the key here that what was distorted perspective and perception is that it had to look or be a certain way. All right. Our parents they love us. Okay. They love us, but they don't know how to show it in one specific way. So whether they caught on to this or we catch on to this or the next generation catches on to this, it's important to know all there is love. It's a choice to choose love over fear. And this is the divine plan. However, most of my awakening, I'm just going to say, my spiritual awakening and how I extend and teach personal growth and stuff like that is from every space, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. It's all important. The body is just not important, okay? Or the mind. They all are attuned together. And if you are coming from the dark place of the dark feminine, okay, and this goes for a masculine out there too, because we hold both energies. You just might be dominantly in the physical, a masculine energy, working hard for a living, to put food on the table for your kids and shelter them, right? Not everybody has that mindset, okay? Not everybody grew up with two parents. Not everybody even had parents, okay? Just put it where it fits. But the moral of the story is until we embrace that distorted perspective of society, also the divine is saying, as well. Because everybody fights for what they believe, regardless. Okay. And we're talking about our presidents. You think not for one second that they're not fighting for something that they grew up believing was their truth. Might not be our truth, but that's for us to discern the difference. And then project unconditional love to what is actually being able to be uplifted and changed for us collectively, individually speaking, right? So we want to throw light and love in them places that we just don't understand, because that's when the divine light and perspective will help change everything. But not until we embrace our darker selves, which is a lower shadow self. It's you, the one that, let's use a relationship with a person. Okay. You got together because love guided you, regardless of what it looked like, what it felt like, right? There was something there, whether it worked out or it didn't work out. There was a value there, and it was for you, collective. It was for you to learn more about you, discerning who you are outside of everybody else. Okay. And I'm feeling like I'm getting on a tangent with this, but it is actually, now when I'm talking to the divine masculine, okay, you have had possibly either one, take what resonates. Like, who did you grow up and who did you believe in? Who did you count on for guidance and mentoring? Okay. Think about that. Reevaluate that for a minute. Sit with that for a minute. All right. Because right now, as adults, we're all choosing to still act and react and respond to what's going on in the world like we have no control over it, right? We don't. We give that to the God. We give that to who we believe in. That is our higher power. When it comes to our own personal space and environment and the people we allow in our lives, right? This is where we learn discernment and learn opening up more, and like, for instance, friendships, right? Maybe you didn't grow up and your parents didn't have friends. Maybe they're just around family all the time, and that was your safe zone. That was their safe zone for some reason, right? So it has to come back to their inner child unhealed self, which you unknowingly, as a sponge, right? You're little, you're learning, you're being mentored, you're watching, you're hearing, you're seeing. All this is being soaked up in you, not knowing you have a choice to choose your own path the way you want it to go, your own belief system, you know. Um, so, yeah, I mean, it's just simply a learned behavior that can be changed or shifted in the mind, in the body, in the soul, is all with you on this. If it's something that you're wanting, right? You can lead them to water, you can give them the guidance, but where will it lead? Without a mentor, you cannot do this. Me personally, the only help that I had was from the highest source, God. You know why? Because I'm the only one that took the effort in my lineage to change it. The toxicity, a way of speaking and communicating to people, to ourselves, right? We got this inner dialogue that's going that we learned. It was a learned behavior. There were projections from your parents. This could have been unwilling and unknowing, too. I'm not blaming anyone. No one's to blame. We have to go here. Right now, we're adults and we need to do better for our children of the future. If you got children now, what are you teaching them? Are you teaching them the old way? Or are you listening? Are you becoming a really good listener and saying, you know what? My kid matters. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to listen. They have an opinion too. Because one mind is not great. It's all minds working together. Because we all are uniquely and divinely guided. And you might be completely unaware of this. That we're not all love and light. We hold this dark feminine energy for a reason. And we bring up this feminine darkness or masculine, right? Whichever distorted perspective you have. You could be a masculine with a distorted view and perspective of a divine feminine. What that looks like or should be like. It looks one way. No. There's many ways that it can look. But what you see is not all what it is. It's deeper. And for anybody out there that's wanting to get to know who you are on a deeper level, to be able to unify, right? Union with your person, with your children, you have to know what's hidden inside yourself, because it's looking at you outside of you. In your reality, it's showing up. If there's fear, it's showing up. Put it where it fits. But like for myself, I had both distorted perspectives and perceptions. All right. It was very confusing. And here's the thing, you don't need to know everything. You need to just open up your heart and allow that healing to happen. It's just almost natural when you become aware of what's hidden in that dark feminine energy or that masculine distorted perspective. So I have a little story I want to share. Many of you know or don't know, I'm on a twin flame journey. This is something I have not been able to worry about, think about, because it's about my insecurities right first. It's not for me to point the finger at other people's insecurities. However, I was aware that I was not alone in the insecurity vibration. And once I shifted this, it was like an aha moment, an epiphany moment that said, wow. When I look back on my life, and this is in the subconscious, past lives, even my spirit team has shown me, was to redo what was from in the past, let that go, heal from it with my person. But what I come to learn is I am the twin flame without the other person. So we don't need a person to fulfill us. We don't need a person to make us happy. We get that stuff. We get it. But there's so many people that have so many insecurities, they push it away instead of facing it and saying, well, that conversation didn't go well. I wonder why. So as soon as that clicks in and you start to wonder why, and then you feel alone and you wonder why your person don't want to sit in the same room with you anymore, or whatever the case is for you. It's about the self. Okay? It's about opening up and allowing your person to be who they are, fully accepting that. Right? Love brought you together. But not everybody leaves with the same love. And we can change that too. We could say, okay, well, we just ain't vibing anymore over here. And we could save so many lives, right? We can just like walk away. Man, there's plenty of fish in the sea. I appreciate the time you've spent with me. I mean, there is ways to end a relationship and start a new one. And you can't even start a new one knowing that that relationship that you just left broke your heart. It broke your heart because you came in love and you never left with it. There was a dispute, there was anger, there was resentment, there was fear. What about it? Face that before you get into another relationship, because I guarantee you, you're going to take in that same energy and think you're starting a new relationship. Yeah, it's going to go the way it always does, the first 6 months, year, whatever, just flying by. Just peachy. And then it hits you. Because why? You're unhealed from the last one. Or you're still carrying your parents' trauma, emotional trauma, mental trauma, the physical abuse experience, all the experiences that they carried, you may have already experienced in your relationships now. So embrace that darkness, bring it up into the light and say, okay, I'm going to embrace this. I have a choice to choose love over fear. I have a choice to say, you know what? That person's not where I'm at. The vibe is changed. It's shifted. It's time to move on. And peacefully, gracefully, and with integrity for both people. Okay? I've done that too. I tried to sneak out. The divine didn't let me. Okay, so embrace that insecurity. Allow yourself to sit in it. Okay? It's an emotion you feel. And start asking yourself, where does this feeling come from? Is it even mine to have in the first place? And then ask your team in spirit. Ask God, your higher power, your higher self, whatever it is to you. If this is not my insecurity, could you please remove it? And watch the pain go away. Listen to your body, okay? This is the message, to listen to your body. Embrace first your own insecurities. If you've already done this work, pat yourself on the back, because it's not a path of the faint of heart. You really will go through it until you had enough. And you understand that polarity as both. And just because someone sees how loving, kind, and compassionate you are, you need to build boundaries and protect yourself on a deeper, just build secure, safe boundaries to where you've done so much work for yourself inside that you know what's happening outside of you cannot affect you anymore. It doesn't even, it can't, nothing. It cannot touch you. It cannot penetrate your energy. And that's where you will get when you take the middle path, the path unknown, the mystery. Face the darkness. Okay. Remember, not all is what it seems. Someone that could be your friend right now could have a knife behind their back ready to stab you with it because you know no difference. You have no boundaries. You have no discernment. Right? So, this is for those of you who are facing your own insecurities and looking at what's been hidden under the surface of yourself. We're not worried about anybody outside of us. We need to do this inside job first. And then the outside just change. And it's energy work. And there is a path. There is a direct blueprint to how this has happened for me. And I know it works. Okay. You know what you create versus what somebody else is creating. Let's just put it that way. Once you've done this work, once you've walked the middle path to healing your own insecurities, right? Your own fears. So what do you fear right now, collective? Can you set in that fear and ask, why is it there? How long has it been there? When did it first arrive? Where does it come from? Where did I first hear, see, or witness it? It's an experience. It's always a past experience that will keep you stuck and in fear, not trusting, moving forward, not trusting that the divine source has your back. You got to open your heart. You got to embrace both sides of yourself. Nobody can be all love. Believe me, I tried. It's so energetically draining. And that's because without the discernment and the boundaries that are healthy for you and your persons, people, places, things, right? It's your choice at the end of the day how you want to feel, what you want to experience the next morning you wake up. So just really sit with yourself for a minute, individually speaking. Maybe your partner will do it with you. But this is how we change it. This is how we embrace it and accept it for what it is. It's duality. We can't have one without the other. With no darkness, there's no light. With no light, there's no darkness. And this is simply a limited belief, a concept. Not just from our parents, but they learned it too. That's why nobody's at fault. Nobody's to blame here. You got to go here. Because as an adult, you know right from wrong. You know black and white. You know that, hey, I can do better. I can be better. I can have better relationships, especially the one with yourself. I mean, what is your inner dialogue about you? Because if that's about you, that's how you see everybody else too. And I'm sure you're coming from a judgmental place of fear. But no one's the same. Nobody gets there at the same time. We just need to sit in it. Sit in it. It's a dependency or codependency issue, you know. The story. Yeah, I heard while I was scrolling through Facebook, excuse me, and I seen women on there saying, "Where's all the great hardworking men?" And that was like, it hit me. It was like, wow, I have already went through that. Careful what you ask for. Because if you're not mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually prepared for that great hardworking man, if you're unhealed and you're just asking for a great man that works hard, you got to be more specific with the universe. You got to make sure that you are prepared for what you're asking for. And we can only prepare, everything's already inside us. It's already there. It's already coming up to the surface to be released and let go of. So we can enjoy long relationships that are more loving, compassionate, and kind. Not allowing, still, with the boundaries. No one to walk over your boundaries that you set. Right? You might have a personal space, and you got to have set boundaries that, hey, this is my space, that's your space. You get it? It's important, especially in a relationship with your person. There's more boundaries setting, like respecting their journey, respecting where they're at in their healing journey. Okay. Especially if they're unhealed and you know it because you're unhealed. But if you know you're healed and they're still unhealed and they choose not to heal, then it's time to look at that. It's time to say, hey, all right, I came a long way. I've let go of my insecurities, and I can see that you still have them and you don't want to change them. That means that we've outgrown each other in one way or another. Okay? Just a divine perspective. But that's not to shame them. That's to respect and honor where they are. And just have that open conversation with no fear and say, I thought that's what we were planning. It's not looking like it's going that direction. So I'm thinking about heading in a different direction, respectfully. It's about open dialogue. First, admitting the truth within yourself, and then with your person. Communicate. Don't stay there in a relationship that you know you're going to be miserable and you're going to be filled with anger and resentment, right? It just don't make sense anymore. So that's a game changer. And let's see, anything else? It's really just a power struggle, if you want the truth. There's control issues. There's someone needing dominance, which is an invasion of someone's spiritual energy or sexual energy. You name it. It's all there. Energetically, right? And never allow someone in your energy without checking here first. Ask the great divine. Is this person safe to allow into my space that I have intentionally, okay, changed my life in every area to be better, do better, and have more. Okay? Yeah, so always know that you are perfect where you are, and you're always learning something about yourself first. Before you say anything to someone else, do the deep dive. And remember, when you stay somewhere where you know it's over, you're projecting the fear of being able to release yourself and hold yourself accountable for this ending. But definitely hold yourself accountable for all that you've created in the relationship. Okay, we're just basically doing a relationship channeling, I guess. So they told me no cards, only channel. Okay. So if you have any questions, kind of feeling really great, we can leave it here. You got enough out there. Leave it in the comments. I like to hear your opinion. Okay. I'm coming from a healed place. So whatever you say will never hurt me. Please share. Because I know there is still people with this distorted perspective and perception of what love is, or what it looks like, or what it should be. Or what if it was your person, but you were unhealed and you pushed it away? Or you ran away, right? Run, push, fight or flight. That's the insecurity that will set in. Fight or flight. We're here to create more love, more light, more peace. Not saying it's going to remove everything that's dark. That's God's job. And, well, with each one of us bringing that darkness into the light and becoming aware of it and working with it, our realities can shift. Our timelines can shift. More money can come in because there's insecurities around money. There's limited beliefs that keep you stuck and held back from being who you're meant to really be. So your whole life, collective, has been a freaking lie, just like mine was. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to get back to work, and I appreciate you. I love you. Honor yourself where you are right now. Honor your person, your place, everything. Because that's the only way we can shift it. That's the only way we can change it. All right? Become aware. Love and light.